Afternoon, good evening, good morning, Fabulites. I've got questions for you. What opens with secret lovers in secret? Shh. And what closes with secret lovers exposed? They were already exposed in the beginning, really, but now it's just blown up. If you guessed Being Mary Jane, Season 4, Episode 13, Feeling Exposed, then you're correct. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for clicking, and please be one of the ones that is sticking around for my review recap of this episode so we can see how we got from opening to closing. Let's go. Okay, so we're picking up with Kara realizing that Mary Jane, processing, that's what I was trying to type. Processing Mary Jane and Justin as a couple. There's an emergency meeting called in the office, and Mary Jane goes into the meeting, and then all of a sudden Kara is jumping across the table to strangle Justin. But it's just her fear, her anxiety creating this vision, this awful, terrible vision of her best friend and her man going at each other, or her best friend going at her man. But that was just a fantasy. It didn't really happen. We find out that Danny Hollins is announced as the newest correspondent. That's the Tommy Lawrence type, blonde, conservative, young, pretty. I don't want to say dumb, but you know, that type. As the newest correspondent, she's all chipper, but the reception is very dry for her. And we also get in this meeting Kara Lynch being welcomed back into the fold as, you know, producer extraordinaire that she is. Okay, so then we see Kara mad at MJ. You're screwing him? You dumped me for that snake in the grass that got me fired? What are you doing with Justin? Mary J, he got your job back, Kara, because of you. You want to keep it quiet? It took me all of 2 minutes to figure it out. Okay, so then we see Mary Jane saying to Justin, Kara knows. Kara would never betray me. And then Mary Jane, we just got called into another meeting in the conference room. At the meeting, we're seeing a video of Sandra Curtis, who we learn is a home decorating diva. They were about to do like a series of fluffy pieces on her home decoration line, but this video has exposed her as a homophobe, or a very Christian religious woman who, you know, wants to talk about the sins of, you know, people's sex lives or whatever. Okay, so she's bashing gay folks. That's playing. Then Kara is like, Paula Deen 2.0, a mess. And then the higher upper Garrett is like, we have a PR person here. And then Kara is getting on Danny for her planned segment on Sandra Curtis. And then Justin, because Danny is like, well, I think she should come. I mean, I think she's great. I mean, everybody is entitled to their opinion, or whatever she's saying. And then Justin is like, well, I'm with Danny. You know, Trump surprised a lot of us, and he has taught us to pay attention. And Aaliyah, the PR, the little racially ambiguous colored curly-haired PR lady, is like a brand strategy person. She says that she thinks that Sandra Curtis is a PR nightmare. After Mary Jane asks and looks at her, what do you think? So I don't know if she felt pressured to say what she said. And she says her followers are already defecting from her. And Garrett is like, well, you know, we can axe that piece if we can find something better. Okay, so then we see Mary Jane saying to Justin, what happened to us being a united front? Because in that meeting, Mary Jane is like, no on the Curtis lady. And Justin is like, yes on the Curtis lady. Okay, so then we see Niecy. She's arriving at MJ's job. The receptionist or whoever person is like, okay, hold on a second, I'll get her. Niecy is like, ooh, food. She grabbing food and taking selfies with a wall poster of her auntie. And then Mary Jane shows up and she's like, I wish I could hang out with you, but we got an emergency at work, but I got you tickets for all of the best sites. I even got you tickets that people wait a year to get. And I'll see you tonight. And Niecy is texting somebody. She like, okay, auntie. And she texting somebody, I'll be there in 20. Niecy. Okay, so then Kara is excited. She has found a replacement for that story, the Sandra whoever story. And it's the new Bond girl. And Danny, are we really scraping an important piece of social commentary for a Bond girl? And then Mary Jane, she is the next Hollywood it girl. She is A-list. This is a good story. And then the higher upper is asking, Garrett is asking, Justin, I want you to weigh in. And Justin is like, well, you know, Diane Sawyer is sniffing around for an exclusive with Sandra Curtis. We have to jump because we already got her already for the home makeover segment. And then the higher upper is like, okay, we're going to go with it. Mary Jane, you do the story. Justin, you do the producing with Mary Jane. And then Danny is like, that's my story. And then Justin is like, Kara doesn't have a story to produce. Why doesn't she produce this story? And then the boss is like, I said what I said. Mary Jane and Justin, y'all work together. Okay, so then the quote for the episode is, nothing weighs on us so heavily as a secret. And this by Jane de la Fontaine. I don't know who it is. Okay, so then we see Niecy on the phone, and she's like, nothing yet, Grandma. I'm watching her like a hawk. And meanwhile, she in the park with a guy, and he walking up, he got him a little pizza or got him a couple slices or whatever, and he like, you know, try this New York pizza. And Niecy's like, oh, you know, it's okay, you know, it's he like, I blame it on you being from Atlanta. And she like, all this walking is not good with these shoes, because you know, she a Southern girl, she got on her heels and everything, she, you know, trying to be cute, and she don't know about this New York walking around thing. You ever think about getting a car? And the guy is like, a car in New York City? Nah. And then Niecy is like, in ATL, you need one. And the guy buys Niecy a flower, and he takes pictures of her with the flower, and he kisses her on her neck or cheek or whatever. It's sweet. They seem, you know, he seems like a nice guy. And then we see Kara. She's on toilet paper sheet counting duty with Good Day USA. And Kara says to Mary Jane, from Bond girl to two-ply, Justin is the boss's golden boy. What's he gonna do when he finds out what you two have been doing? And Mary Jane is like, you won't tell. Okay, so then we see Niecy at this guy's place, and she's taking pictures of the guy while he's getting her some water. Is he getting her water? He's getting her a drink. I don't know if it's a drink of water or what. But she taking pictures and texting her girl, what do you think? Is he cute? Or, you know, whatever. Is it about to rain? It seemed like it got dark all of a sudden. Yeah, it's getting dark. Let me try to hurry up. Okay. And texting it to her friend. And then the next thing we know, Niecy and the guy are sexing. Niecy goes from texting to sexing. I mean, sexing like having sex in real life. Okay. So then we see Mary Jane saying to Justin, Kara's gonna tell. She's on toilet paper duty because you sided with Danny. And then Justin is like, we needed a win. We win with Sandra Curtis. Let's go to your place. And then Mary Jane is like, my niece is in town. You heard that? My niece is in town. And then Mary Jane is like, if we don't win, I'm next on the chopping block, and I'm not gonna let Rhonda, you know, get that win or whatever. And then Justin says, ratings is Garrett's main concern. And then Mary Jane says, but the network does the same 30-second spot for every story. How are we going to get good ratings? And the next thing we see Justin and Mary Jane, they're having drinks with the PR lady. Her name is Aaliyah. And she's like, I got a plan. I got a ground game. You know, we need buzz. How bad do you want it? Any means? And Justin is like, as long as our hands remain clean and there are no fingerprints, hey, go for it. And then Kara comes home, and the boys are playing at her place, like her man Orlando and his boys. That's what I'm talking about, boys. But they playing like they little boys. And she is like on the warpath, like, you ate my mofongo? What's going on here? What are you doing here? Ah! I think it's really interesting how she manages to pull off that angry Latin woman and still be cute and charming. And I still liked her. Nobody, you know, the boys just left. And then she's like, why y'all here talking to Orlando when you have that big old place with all of your fancy toys over there? And Orlando is like, you got the good food. How was work? And Kara's like, shitty. Mary Jane is sleeping with the guy who got me fired. And I lost the story because of it. Where's her friendship? Where's her loyalty? And Garrett is acting like he doesn't even know me. Justin, the guy who got me fired. Oh, yeah, okay, I probably put something in. But yeah, Justin, the guy who got me fired. That's who Mary Jane is sleeping with. Babe, maybe you could court Garrett. Invite Garrett to a game. Maybe to an after party. Help me. Plus, it'll help your future career. Garrett knows a lot of people. It's a win-win for both of us. I really need this, Poppy. I really, really need this. Please. And then he says, yes. She's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then Niecy, we see Niecy arriving at Mary Jane's place. And Mary Jane is like, you tired from all that sightseeing? Make yourself at home. And Niecy like, okay, I will. Where the guest room? And then Mary Jane is like, right here, mama, right here. And Niecy like, you making the big bucks. This place is smaller than your place in Atlanta. You got played. And Mary Jane is like, girl, this place is twice as much and it's smaller. And that's how it is in New York. And then Niecy is like, well, you seem happy for a breakup. And then Mary Jane's phone is ringing. She's like, oh, I'm not going to answer it. It's family time. And Niecy's looking. She's like, isn't it that guy from work? Why is he FaceTiming you if it's for work? And then we find out that there's lots of fake news going around about Sandra Curtis's lesbian past, the one who was bashing gays. There's stories going around that she is gay. And she wants to use Good Day USA to clear up the rumors. And Mary Jane is like, I don't know. And then we see her, she says, we're generating fake news. And then her boyfriend, I think this is Justin, says, she'll come on the show. It'll help our ratings. It's a means to an end, right? Right? Let's just get Kara to be quiet, i.e. you, Mary Jane, get your girl to be quiet. Then we see Sandra Curtis speech. Oh, Mary Jane is watching a Sandra Curtis speech while she's getting her hair done. And her dresser is like, that's what my parents have said to me daily since I came out. Bury that bitch. And then in the interview, Sandra Curtis is like, the Bible is consistent. And Mary Jane is like, well, the Bible says you can't wear mixed fabrics. You don't take everything in the Bible literally. And then Sandra, African Americans believe the same thing. You can't get special rights because of who you sleep with. And Mary Jane is like, we're not talking about special rights. We just talking about the same rights. And then Sandra, I'm getting attacked because I love Christ. It's just so hard. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then after the interview, Justin is on the mic to Mary Jane. That was great TV, Mary Jane. And then Kara gives her boss tickets to the game, from the baseball game, Orlando's game. And she's like, it's my way of saying thanks for bringing me back. And then we see the co-anchor, Aaron, looking at Mary Jane's butt, talking to Justin like, I'd like to bite that Georgia peach. I think it's raining in here. I'd sure like to bite that Georgia peach. And then I guess it have to close the, we gotta, it's gonna be a thunderstorm. And then after the interview, Danny, the new blonde correspondent, is like, oh, MJ, good job. And Mary Jane is like, it's Mary Jane, and you helped her. African-American comment is yours, because she had said it earlier in the meeting. And you need to know what side your Wonder Bread is buttered on. And then Kara compliments, you know, Mary Jane, and Mary Jane drops into their old regular routine of interacting. And Kara is like, hold up. We are not friends. You don't get to play the victim, Mary Jane. You can make a mistake, and I can make that the last straw. I'm done with you, boo-boo. Okay, or whatever. And then Kara's man, we see him entertaining Garrett after the game at the bar club, and they're partying, and Kara's looking online, and she sees pictures of Garrett at the bar, and she's like, oh my God, and she calls Orlando, and she's talking fast, and she's speaking in Spanish. I see the pictures online. She's upset. And then Orlando is like, my boys are behaving themselves. Your precious Garrett is perfectly fine. And then in the background, Garrett gets hit. Boom, punched in the face. And then we see MJ at work. She's texting Niecy. I can recommend a breakfast spot if you're up, Niecy. And then Niecy is like, oh, I'm cool, I ate. And Niecy rolls over, and the guy is painting her. And Niecy is like, are you crazy? My hair is a mess. I got sleep in my eyes. Artist? I thought you were trying to be a rapper. You that kind of artist? Then she's looking at his paintings. And she like, you paint all of these? You got talent. How much you charge for these? You obviously got a thing for big girls. And the guy is like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. You are sexy. I liked your tweets too, though. Haven't sold anything yet. I work maintenance here in this apartment building in exchange for rent. So I have time to paint. And then Niecy is like, they should pay you to live in this little old tiny place. Shoot, like my aunt, she could have a mansion in Atlanta. And then he's like, oh, your aunt is Mary Jane Paul, right? Can you introduce me? She can help me. And then Garrett, he's all back at the office. He's all hype about Orlando. He's like, oh my God, I had a good time. I can't wait to do it again. So Kara got to hook him up again with him. And then Niecy shows the painting, one of the paintings to her aunt, the one that he was doing of her laying, sleeping. And she confesses to dealing with the New York guy. His name is Achille. And then Mary Jane is like, he's talented, but what's your passion? And Niecy is like, well, what if I'm just regular? And Justin comes in and meets Nicole. I'm like, is the child's name Nicole? I thought her name was Denise and they called her Niecy, but I guess she is the niece and they call her Niecy. But anyway, she ain't everybody's niece. Everybody call her Niecy, right? Or maybe just Mary Jane, but Nicole. And Niecy's like, well, what do you want me to tell Grandma? Mary Jane is like, did Grandma send you here to spy on me? And Niecy's like, she said if you cheated on Lee, it must be with somebody fine. Hashtag light eyes. And then Kara says to Orlando, you lucky that Garrett had fun with your ass. I promise you, Orlando, your Animal House friends are not going to help you. And then Orlando is like, what about thank you, Orlando? And she's like, thank you, Orlando. But Poppy, I'm serious. You need to stop dragging around that posse of lost boys. And then Justin, huh? I don't know if I said this already, but you know, Kara's her boyfriend, you know, stop dragging around that posse of lost boys. And then we see Justin in Mary Jane's office, and they're like, ratings even better than I thought. I knew we were a great team. And then they're summoned to meet with Garrett, and Mary Jane is like, yeah, Garrett saw the ratings too. And then the boss is like, you two are together. And Justin is like, this is not going to affect our work. You see these numbers? And then Garrett is like, Justin, you going to Kansas. You are off of Mary Jane stories, and your flight leaves this afternoon. Then we see the Bumblebee Mary Jane. She in this cute little yellow and black type outfit, and she's buzzing around Karen. Can I see you in my office, please? I never thought you would rat me out. And Kara's like, I'm not mad, I'm hurt. You're cleaning up after him like all your other guys. I would not rat you out. I'm a good friend, but I'm done with you. That's the thing about making so many enemies, Mary Jane. When you get stabbed in the back, you don't know which one did it. And then we see the anchor guy, Aaron, was the one who told Mary Jane and Justin. And he tells Justin, you know, your poker face is too strong. When I made that comment about her ass, you didn't even flinch. And that's the end of the episode. Thank you, Fabulites. It's a wonderful day. It's the best day ever. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Thank you. Bye.